For all of you who listen to Mackey's Second Floor Studios presents Submersion and own an Android device, do me a favor. Go to the Google Play Store and download the Podcast Republic app. It's a fantastic app that allows you to get all of your favorite podcasts directly on your Android device. I use the app and I love it. I can search for the podcasts I want to listen to, select them as favorites, and have them all just a click away. Make sure to set Mackey's Second Floor Studios as a favorite so you don't miss any of our new episodes. Again, the app is the Podcast Republic app, available on Android devices. Episode 50!
Woo!
It's a big one.
It's a big one.
It is a very big one.
So big that we couldn't watch The Chamber for it. We were like, no, we can't do that.
No way, man.
Yeah.
Because what? Brom, I think you brought it up. 50 is what? The gold anniversary? Guess not. All right.
Yeah. Did he leave? I don't even know.
Dead air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Playing mirror.
Pretend we never know.
Yes.
Mirror. Yeah.
This is a big one, man. I mean, I can't believe we're 50 deep right now.
I mean, it is literally unbelievable.
Are we doing a year special just for everyone?
Oh, in 2 weeks? Ooh.
Should we watch all 50 of the movies for that?
Yeah.
52 weeks. I see.
We could do that. Have a year-long podcast.
It never stops. We're going to have someone on at all time.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle.
A movie marathon streaming live that we take turns watching.
That'd be good.
I like
Jesus
that.
Christ.
Yeah, man. That'd be really good. Oh, man. So, any of you guys see this movie in theaters? I know I did when I was a kid.
I did.
I did. Yes, I did.
I remember seeing the first Austin Powers several times in theaters.
Really?
Yeah. They were back then. I used to go, and my brother, we worked at these tennis courts, and since we were like kind of kids, they let kids work at these, like the yacht club or whatever that we were part of.
Do they not let kids work at other yacht clubs?
Well, I don't know. It's just like we were really young. We were like 11 and 12 years old and stuff, and we like worked.
Child labor laws.
But so he would have a shift, and I would be off shift, and we used to go to movies. And I remember Wedding Crashers was one where I went to Wedding Crashers, and then like when Patrick was on shift and I was off again, I just went again because like that was so funny. And Austin Powers was another one where I feel like I saw it 2 or 3 times that summer. Just like, I don't got nothing to do.
You're not even talking about this one, right?
No, Goldmember I only saw once. For sure.
Spoiler.
Yeah, dude. What the hell?
Sorry, fuck.
You blew it.
You blew it.
Scotty, don't.
Any of you other guys see this in theaters?
I did, yes.
For sure.
I did.
I think this like molded me as a child. Movies like this.
Well, I'm a little older than you. That's
This
why
movie
Austin
shaped your
Powers
future.
molded me.
Yeah. And brought me to where I am today.
Explains a lot.
It really does.
I think I only saw
since-
it once growing up, though.
Dive. Gotta get ready. Surprise me with it.
What began as an innocent conversation among friends would soon spiral out of control and later be referred to by future generations as the eighth wonder of the modern world. Mac East Second Floor Studios takes you on the journey of your lifetime as your captains, Alex the Mustard Man, the artist formerly known as Brom, Jamie the Brain, Kyle El Capitan, and Zach the Backbone present Submersion. All right, so Zach, before the intro, you said you saw this once as a kid?
I think I saw it once, and yet I found out that I own all 3 Austin Powers movies on DVD.
Really?
So there you go. Yeah, I thought I owned Goldmember, and I confirmed that I own all 3 on DVD. The first 2 I've watched a lot. This one, I watched it once growing up. I don't even think I ever watched the DVD of it. I just put it in my DVD collection. And then I watched
this is
it
the one
today.
I've seen the most.
No. See, that's the thing. Yeah, I think it's.
What do you mean no? I said this is the one I've seen the most. You said no.
I said
that's
no.
incorrect.
That's wrong. No, but this is, I don't know. I hope someone has watched the first one somewhat recently because I do have some questions about it. I didn't go back and watch the first 2 in preparation for watching the third one.
Well, we can put this on hold for another week.
Yeah,
and
let's do it.
all right, there it is. Done.
Yeah.
All right, we're back. We just watched both other Austin Powers.
It's been a whole week's time.
Yeah,
Wow.
we borrowed Zach's DVDs. He sent them around.
Mailed them.
Yeah.
Like Netflix.
Oh,
Not a sponsor.
Zach Flex.
not a sponsor.
There we go.
So, all right,
those are the good
let's
ones.
get on into this.
Yeah, so
Zac Flick.
officially, Zach, what did we watch this week?
Goldmember. Wah, wah, wah. Faja.
Ba-ba, ba-da-na-na, ba-na, ba-da-na-na.
Austin Powers in Goldmember.
That's not the
is
official title.
Then why does it say that everywhere?
That was actually, they got sued about that title.
Really?
Yeah, they were sued because they were sued by James Bond because it was like they were saying that they were playing off of James Bond. Obviously, they were.
Well, yeah, that's
and so
the
then
whole point.
then officially they changed the name to Goldmember. But I think maybe by the time DVD and stuff came out, they had been able to change it back or something.
Good Lord.
That's what I read. Who knows? The internet never lies,
Well,
but
it
they may
doesn't.
have lied this one time.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Fake internet.
Sons of guns.
Yeah.
All right, so this is a 2002 spy comedy film. On IMDb right now, this is holding a 6.2, which I think is stupid low for this movie.
6.2. I feel like that's pretty reasonable.
pretty-
That's a pretty high number.
Yeah,
Oh, I
come
can't
on,
wait
come
till we
on.
get to the ratings.
Oh, yeah. So this was directed by Jay Roach, who directed the first two Austin Powers, Meet the Parents, Meet the Fockers, and Dinner for Schmucks.
Oh.
Great.
That beloved
movie.
comedy, Dinner for Schmucks.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
With Steve Carell.
I've
and
never
Little
seen
Mice.
it. I
Are you
just think-
serious?
No, I've never seen that one.
Oh, my God.
It's because I'm an old man.
Spank me, Barry!
It's a little bit after my time, I think.
So this stars Mike Meyers playing multiple roles as Austin Powers, Dr. Evil, Goldmember, and Fat Bastard.
Obviously.
Beyonce as Foxy Cleopatra.
I gotta say, she was better than I remembered her being. Like, when I first saw the film, I felt like I was like, oh, not good. But then I was like, you know what? She's actually doing quite a good job
oh,
for
yeah.
what she's being asked to be like a star of the film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Seth Green as Scott Evil, Michael York as Basil Exposition, Robert Wagner as Number 2, Mindy Sterling as Farbissina,
Farbisma.
Right.
Farbisma,
Frau, for sure. Yeah.
Frau.
Frau.
Sorry, guys.
God, you
know how I am
can't.
with names.
Dude, come on.
I think his name is Verne Troyer. Just kidding.
Come on.
Verne Troyer, rest in
Dude,
peace.
this is-
as Mini-Me.
Dedicated to him this episode.
Yes. Michael Caine as Nigel Powers.
You gotta say it in the accent. Say it in Michael Caine accent. You can't say it without it.
Nigel
Michael
Powers.
Caine.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
I liked
All right, which one
the
of you is being
callback
Michael
in this with him driving the Mini Cooper because he was in the original Italian Job, and of course they used Mini Coopers in the remake of it.
They also had to play off his other movie, Alfie, with a song at the credits. It's like it was a spoof of the Alfie song.
Thought I smelled cabbage.
Exactly.
Dude, so that line,
a lot of
realize,
callbacks.
I did not realize until then. I was like, oh, is it because he's like a Cabbage Patch Kid?
No,
Jesus.
Come on.
it's not.
That's what you
And-
thought,
all right.
Kyle?
It's
Yeah.
not because of that.
Cracks me up. And then lastly, Fred Savage as Number 3,
The Mole.
the Mole.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Mm. Mole.
Dude, some of those
Mole.
facial expressions Mike Myers did while looking at that mole cracked me up.
Oh,
No
dude,
words. He was just like when he was playing Austin, staring at it, and his head would tilt. Cracked
Oh my gosh.
me up.
So do you have the financials in your trivia?
I don't have it. No. I don't have anything about that.
Okay, so how much do you guys think this movie was budgeted for?
I
And
looked
what do
it
you think
all
it
up.
made?
I think it was budgeted for 70 million, 50 million.
I looked
What
up
do you
all the
think it made?
costs for 3 films and what they grossed.
And how much do I think it
so
made?
I can't.
I think it probably made, I don't know, 300 million.
So it was budgeted for 63,
Yeah.
and it made just under 3 at 296.65
Ding, ding, ding.
million.
I'm pretty good. That was not bad.
But you're over
Oh,
on
yeah.
the one. Come on.
Did you get what the series made as a whole, Kyle?
No, what did it?
Was it
what did it all do?
was it $1 billion?
They didn't reach $1 billion, but it was over $600 million.
Oh,
Like
Really?
the first movie's budget was like $9 million. The second movie was, I think, like $16 million, and then they buffed this one up big time.
well, you could tell a little bit. They did a lot in this.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
A lot of crazy shit.
that asteroid, I don't know how they afforded to make that and put it in
Sure.
space.
Yeah, dude. In the actual not even a replica, just the creation of the Dr. Evil submarine.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
You tried to buy that, right?
I already put a down payment on it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Should we get into this?
I think we probably should.
Let's do it.
Okay. So how do we open? We open on what looks like a very daring pursuit by Austin Powers of a bad guy kind of shooting at his partner.
Someone on a motorcycle, a helicopter's chasing it.
And he's parachuting in, and you're like, holy shit, I don't remember Austin Powers being kind of this great and competent at being just a regular spy action hero.
Yeah,
I literally was thinking this. I was like, whoa, this is crazy. Because then he like confronts the helicopter. They go after each other, him and this helicopter, and he jumps into the air, does a bunch of flips, shooting guns into the helicopter and blows it to smithereens, and then lands on his feet just on the road after jumping off a motorcycle going like 100 miles per hour.
Yeah.
But then who turns around?
Tom flippin' Cruise.
Tom fucking Cruise. Any other submarine films for our boy Tom?
Not that I can remember.
Was he never in a sub in a Mission Impossible movie?
Oh, dude, he's got to be.
Maybe.
He had
Yeah,
to
I mean, there's so
been.
many now. How many are there? Like 25 of them?
Top Gun.
Oh, good call.
That's right.
That's right. He was in a flying submarine.
Right.
Most of that one.
Yeah.
And so he turns around. He's like, hey, I'm Tom Cruise, but wink, wink. I'm also Austin Powers.
Yeah,
and then the Gwyneth Paltrow turns out to be the partner, who I guess is supposed to be the Heather Graham character. Is that right? Anyways.
Yes.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, like, I love you or whatever. I'm also Gwyneth Paltrow, wink, wink. And then they zoom in on Dr. Evil. Who's Dr. Evil?
Kevin Spacey.
Yeah. You know, we don't really want to mention too much about him. So
No.
It's been quite a fall from being Dr. Evil
peace.
in this.
What happened?
now.
I don't know what happened.
Well,
Nobody really does.
yeah.
And then somebody screams, "Hey, assholes!"
God.
It zooms in, and who is it?
Danny DeVito playing Mini-Me.
What?
I'm
There's so
Mini-Me.
many.
Come and get me.
And then it's who's directing the film?
Steven Spielberg.
And he turns around and asks Austin Powers, hey, how do you like the opening credit sequence right now? And he's like, it needs a little more mojo, baby.
And then he's like, "Hey, me and my friend," and he just holds up his Oscar to think it's all right the way it is.
Yeah.
He
But
does
then,
that
It's like, it's so
backflip
great.
or whatever
I would
he
love
did.
to see him do that on just regular set.
yeah. But then Austin Powers runs out and he does a whole big dance sequence like we've seen in a bunch of the other. I think even the first one had a dance sequence to open it, right?
You're going to snub the mojo making Quincy Jones composing the orchestra?
No, I hadn't gotten there yet because they dance. You see Steven Spielberg do a whole bunch of flips. They're dancing like crazy. And then it's like a Singing in the Rain spoof. And then it's supposed to be like an orchestra doing all the mojo music. He comes out of the screen
Oh yeah,
like Last Action Hero or something. And then goes up to and it's like, Quincy Jones, baby. Oh. And then it's Quincy Jones. And then he runs back into the screen and they keep on dancing and dancing and dancing and dancing and dancing and dancing.
and then he runs into Britney Spears.
Oh, yeah. And she's doing her own dancing.
Yes.
And yeah, they can't get enough of each other. They totally make out, I think.
No, she's a
No, dude,
fembot.
No. What?
She's a fembot.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He does his whole. It's one in many callback jokes, which is to be expected with a sequel. You got to do something because then he goes, "Oops, I did it again" when he explodes fembot Britney Spears' head.
Yeah. Because gun barrels shoot out of her chest, and she's trying to kill
Yeah.
AP.
But his mojo blows up her head, and then he's like, "Remember when that happened last time?" And also, I'm making a joke about a song she had. Oh, is that a surprise?
Mm-hmm.
Scandalous.
And then we cut on over to Hollywood, where we see Dr. Evil.
He's in his lair up in the Hollywood
And
sign.
he's got Mini-Me on a papoose.
Mhm.
He's stroking his head.
I actually was really impressed with Verne Troyer's acting at this point.
Oh
Like,
my gosh.
them playing
it's
off
so
each
funny.
other, it was just really well choreographed. It must have been a lot of hard work with him to do it with Michael Myers. They must have practiced like a whole bunch or something. Either that or his comic timing is just like out through the roof. I mean, it was crazy.
Oh, it was.
Anyways,
Great.
I was really impressed. I didn't necessarily remember Verne Troyer being so like on for the whole movie.
I agree.
Yeah. So anyways, he's there and he's kind of laying out his next big plan. And his plan is he is developing a tractor beam to grab a meteor and bring it and crash it into Earth. And to flood the whole Earth. And he's going to get a whole bunch of money as a result of doing this, like by holding the world hostage. But he needs a cold fusion machine to power it. So he's going to use this guy, favorite character, titular character, Goldmember.
I love gold.
Johann van der Schmoot, who in 1975 made a cold fusion device that is capable of powering this tractor beam. So he's like, I'm going to go back in time. We're going to get this and we're going to do this. But, oh shit. Oh, and we also get to see a whole scene where Mini-Me eats like a bunch of Belgian chocolates.
Oh my God. Yeah. He's going just crazy because right before this though, number 2 also lets them know that now they've been making a whole lot of money representing A-list actors. And now they all get assistance. And that's when the mole shows up. He's number 3. And Dr. Evil is just staring right at his mole. Mole's flipping huge. It's like the size of a quarter on his face.
Yeah.
It's big.
A Canadian quarter, let's be clear.
And it's got hair coming out of it and all sorts of stuff.
Canadian hair, to be clear.
Yes.
And yeah, so, and he's making fun of Scott Evil a whole bunch, Seth Green, being like, Scotty don't, which I didn't, is that like a reference to something? Or is
Scotty
is it just Scotty don't? Does anyone know? Is it something that was like, was it a commercial or something? Or is it just a thing? Is it just itself?
I think it was a Kit Kat commercial.
Is that right?
No.
Okay.
That'd be a great Kit Kat commercial.
That'd be good. So he makes fun of him. Basically, Scott doesn't really want to be evil, but he also thinks Dr. Evil is like a complete buffoon. And anyways, it all culminates in Austin Powers busting in and destroying the plan right in the beginning of the film.
Oh, yeah.
Arrests Dr. Evil. He gets tried by the World Organization and is sent to jail.
And because
high
of
security
this,
prison, yeah.
Because of this, Austin Powers gets knighted by the Queen of England.
Yeah, and at a ceremony, he's like super jazzed. He's like, "I'm the best. Call me Sir Austin Powers." And I got to thank the one person in my life who's been my constant, my daddy-o. And he turns,
stand up, Dad, and take a bow.
And I got to say, this is a recurring joke that I couldn't get enough of. I just really loved everyone laughing at him with his dad not being there, just because of how like not only how stupid but how simple it is and how funny it is. It's like your dad's not there and everyone finds this like so hilarious and so awful. Well, look at this loser. Like, get out of here.
I loved the janitor laughing.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I mean,
just twice.
It's a very pure joke. It's so simple and good. I was like, yeah, I really enjoy this. I could have done with several more times when people were laughing at his dad abandoning him.
Oh my word! Yeah, like you mentioned, Zach, that janitor, that guy looks like he's from before the Great War, and he's got just
laughing his ass off at this kid whose dad didn't show up.
And they zoom in on his face.
So yeah, we flash over to Austin Powers at a big celebratory party for his knighting, and he's singing all about his dad and how his
daddy wasn't there.
Yeah,
to take me to the fair.
Yeah,
change my underwear.
Daddy wasn't there.
So he's going through some shit, but what's the best thing to get through some shit?
Twins, Basil, twins.
Yeah. Twins movie, mark it down. I got to mark that one down. I love Twins movies. And yeah, so there's it's actually, if I you know what? I don't get fired from my job in the future. So how about you talk about this joke?
What?
It's the play on their Asian names.
Oh, he's got Fook me and Fook you.
You wash your mother with that now.
Yeah. This is also one of maybe 5 million product placements that are so obvious. This is the big question I had for everyone is, do you guys remember in the first film, was it so product placement heavy? Is that still like a joke? Because in Wayne's World, a big joke with Mike Meyers' character is like, they're complaining about how movies sell out and get all these advertisements, and they're holding up advertisements and like drinking Bud Light and Coca-Cola the whole time that they're doing this. It's that's like the joke.
Yeah.
Is they're also selling out. Was Austin Powers like that? Or is this just as it got to the third one and they needed $70 million, they started being like, yes, Subway, yes, Heineken, yes, whatever you want. Yes, we're going to put Dasani, Aquafina. We're going to do all these things. Don't worry about it.
Heineken was always in the movies. You know, Big Boy definitely was.
Oh, that's true. That's a good call. Okay, yes. So the answer is yes, probably.
Yeah.
You touch my hiney, baby.
Yeah. So anyways, they bring, he gets some Heineken from these twins, and then Nigel comes in and goes, okay, guess what? We know what happened to your dad. He's like, what? It's like, he was captured off of his yacht. He's like, oh, that's why my dad wasn't at the ceremony. And Nigel goes, no, he got captured after.
I love that. I love that type of crap.
But the big reveal is, and here are the people on the yacht who were witnesses, and what happened to them.
And pull down your trousers, boys.
Yeah, truly, dicks are pulled out in this film. This is not a lie. I'm not lying, and I never do lie. They always are pulled out in these films. And in this one also as well. Yeah,
they have golden wedding tackle.
Yeah.
Isn't that what he calls it?
I think that's right.
Yeah.
Revealing that it was actually Goldmember. In a very confusing twist of the plot, Goldmember also has a time travel machine and now traveled forward in time to steal Austin Powers' dad, while Dr. Evil went to jail. Like, it just seems like such a crazy, weird, convoluted plot at this point. But like, who
or
gives
if you
a
look
shit?
at the
Whatever.
space-time continuum, maybe Dr. Evil had already gone back in time and brought Goldmember to the future.
But then he did have a time machine when they went back.
Yeah, you never know.
I don't know. It seems like I literally was like, I don't even understand anymore what this plot is. Also, it seemed like he explained that Goldmember had wanted the cold fusion for a tractor beam and then all of a sudden it was Dr. Evil's plan as well to bring Midas 22 or whatever the meteor.
The golden.
Yeah, the golden thing. Like, I was like,
Earth.
wait, why is it your plan now to have this golden asteroid? Goldmember didn't even really do anything.
Dude, he just needed him, man.
Yeah.
A little bit of time travel.
So he knows he needs to go back to 1975 and confront Goldmember.
Not yet.
Really?
He's got to go talk to Dr. Evil.
Oh, sure. Yeah, he's got to get
Dr. Evil
advice.
is in maximum security prison.
Yeah, I guess they don't know who Goldmember is. Only Dr. Evil does, yeah.
Yeah. And so...
and what's a play on Silence of the Lambs, kind of, is he's in this like glass box kind of being like, I knew you'd come and need to talk to me.
And Dr. Evil even heard about how Nigel Powers did not show up to the ceremony. And then they flash back to college days.
Yeah.
Or they're at the Spy Academy,
the
whatever
Spy
you want to
Academy,
call it. This is some of the funniest stuff.
Yeah.
Because Austin Powers and Dr. Evil are roommates.
Yes.
And Dr. Evil is in position to become the international man of mystery. He's he's number one in the class.
He's got to be it, right?
He turns around. He's like, I'm number one. Then all of a sudden, this other guy shows up. He's like, hello, I'm number two.
Right.
He's got the classic number 2 eye patch on. And I was like, I don't know why. I just lost it when I was watching it.
Oh, and Nigel and Austin Powers are friends, but he's kind of just like a groovy guy, right? He doesn't really care too much. He's like, whatever. I don't need to be the international man of mystery. I'm like crushing it. But he gets named it anyways.
Oh,
and then we get a repeat of the joke, which is he goes up to accept international man of mystery. Dr. Evil's obviously pissed. And his dad's not there.
But who's there to laugh his ass off at him? The janitor.
Yeah. And Dr. Evil and number 2 and Nigel probably. I don't know. Anyways, they flash back and Dr. Evil is like, are you finished with flashing back? And then he kind of reveals that, yes, it is Goldmember and that's who did it and blah, blah, blah. Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he only gave him the information because he wanted to be moved to a less secure prison so he could be closer to his precious mini-me.
Yeah, and I don't know what you thought of this, guys, but it isn't the best portion of the film. I gotta say that. Like, I didn't totally enjoy the Hard Knock Life full music video that was in the middle of this film. I didn't.
Why?
Anyways.
There was more music in it than I ever remembered.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm gonna throw in a
videos,
question here. I'm gonna throw in my hat in the ring here.
Go for it.
Kyle, you just said there's a lot of music in the movie, right? A lot of music, a lot of songs,
a huge amount, yeah,
a lot of singing. Kyle, how did you describe this movie when you first said it? A spy comedy thriller?
He's asking if it's a musical,
right? But is it a musical?
But my question is it a musical?
Right. There's 4. I'd say there's at least 4 distinct songs in the film.
But is it enough? Because I was wondering that too when I was watching that. Is it enough to call it a musical? Because in musicals, a lot of time they just like bust out all the time.
I feel like they need 2 more.
6?
Just 2 more.
This movie's only an hour and like 35 minutes long.
That's crazy for one of my, and you'll know why when I do one of my trivia.
No way.
Yeah. Like, it's crazy that it got down to that much. It almost seems like there must be some like Anchorman 2. Remember that they did that like a full cut of Anchorman using extra scenes or something? And they released it to DVD.
I didn't know that.
Really?
What was it,
Oh,
like
yeah,
30 minutes longer or something?
No. It's basically they didn't use any of the scenes from the actual Anchorman. They just used extra scenes and made a complete new storyline.
What?
Yeah.
What
yeah.
movie?
That's
Anchorman.
crazy.
Oh, they just made a different one. Yeah.
Oh,
And so it seems like they must be able. They probably have like enough scenes in this one to make like a whole new movie, because you'll see in how long the original cut was. Oh my God.
really?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
curious about this because when I saw the runtime, I was like, "Wow, that seems short."
Yeah. I was actually impressed, because usually when you get sequels, like the last sequel will be like, and Austin Power and Goldmember,
exactly.
2 hours and 15 minutes, and you're like, Jesus Christ!
You think like,
what were you
like,
thinking?
yeah, like a Return of the
Yeah.
King type of thing going on.
Yeah.
I mean, this is Austin
the
Powers
greatest-
we're talking about.
Yeah, the greatest trilogies of all time.
Right.
You got Lord of the Rings.
Austin Powers.
Austin Powers.
Obviously. Atlas Shrugged, part 1, 2, and 3.
There you go.
So okay. Anyways, they time travel. Okay, and there's a lot of like jokes that probably wouldn't totally fly now. He dresses up as a pimp and gets in a pimp mobile, and
come on.
time travels back to 1975.
Do we?
That's
I
fine.
got to ask this question. Do you guys think if they made it now, would all the jokes with Mini-Me fly?
No.
I don't think.
I'm going to say, I actually think by this point, if it was just like it was done here, the answer might be yes. But how it was treated in the first film, certainly not.
I feel like the
Definitely
Fook Me, Fook You with the young Asian girls, I think, was probably one of the more egregious ones that I don't think you'd see nowadays.
That would definitely be tossed out. Yep.
Yeah.
And I just feel like this one, again, it's just like dressing up as a pimp. Like there's a certain direction that the humor is going where you're like, I just don't even think it's going to be done anymore. Like just the joke being that he's dressed as a pimp is just like, no, probably not done. Probably not the joke anymore.
Because it works for Austin Powers.
Sure.
'Cause he's
Anyways,
a pimp.
he travels back to 1975
To a roller disco at Studio 69.
for sure. And they are rollerblading around, getting back to the songs. There's a whole song by Beyonce at this point.
Dude, that's so
it's
good.
a great song.
It is
Actually,
so
a bunch of
good.
them really good. I thought Austin Powers' song about his dad was also a very good song.
Yeah. No, they're all like the music in this movie is really good.
Yeah.
In this maybe a musical movie.
Yeah. Anyways, Foxy Cleopatra, she's an FBI agent, and she is undercover in
A roller disco.
Yeah, and she recognizes Austin Powers. Why? Because they totally hooked up back in like 1967 or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And so she confronts him using Nathan Lane.
Oh my gosh. This
Yeah.
is one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
Yeah.
It is. Nathan Lane is the what's the word I guess you'd use? The go-between.
Yeah.
So Foxy Cleopatra is sitting there with her back to Nathan Lane. Nathan Lane is talking to Austin Powers, and they are spot on. I don't know how long they had to like rehearse that because it is so good. And everything she's saying, he's mouthing and all that. Funniest thing to me is when he's sitting there doing his makeup and he snaps it and snaps his finger. She's like, ow.
Yeah.
Austin Powers looks like, what? Oh, man. But then we also get introduced to Goldmember.
Yeah. And he's a total weirdo.
Because why? Because he's from Holland.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah. And he likes to pull off large patches of his own skin. And he really wants to eat them, but then he puts them in a collection instead.
And he's got a really big package.
Yeah.
And he's always talking about being real tight. Or I can't. How do you
Toy
say it?
like a tiger.
Yeah. And so he's super weird. And yeah, so Austin Powers goes into the back. He finds his dad who's about to make out with like 4 ladies.
Is that all they were going to do?
Yeah, and then they get into a bunch of English speaking that's really funny, that I still found very funny.
Oh, yeah.
And then yeah, they confront Goldmember, and he basically reveals that like, you fell into the trap. I'm gonna kill you, Austin Powers, and I'm gonna take your dad back to the future, 2002 or whenever it takes place, and grabs the dad and jumps through a time machine that he has somehow.
Yeah, he's got one.
Yeah. And then, but Foxy Cleopatra and Austin Powers are able to escape and get into his time travel machine, his time travel pimpmobile, and go back as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my word.
Flash
And then-
sideways to Dr.
Yes.
Evil. They have a whole music video
Oh,
It's a Hard Knock
It's
Life.
so funny.
by Beyonce's husband, Jay-Z. That's
Oh,
the
really?
song, yeah. So
Dude, it was so funny because he just walks into that prison. He says, "You guys are going to start a riot tonight, and I'm going to walk out of here." And they're like,
Who the fuck are you?
well, what did he say? He's like, "I know guys on crack who make more sense than you." And then he sings The Hard Knock Life. He's like, "So you're going to start the riot at 8? Okay, yeah." And also at this time, or somewhere around here, there's a conversation with Austin Powers where he's talking about his birth mother and how she was in a other one. It's Dr. Evil.
Yeah.
Dr. Evil's talking about his birth mother who was in a very bad car accident when they were younger. Car exploded and her flaming carcass surrounded him like a cocoon.
Yeah. This is funny, yeah.
And then a Belgian man with his 15-year-old love slave who has webbed feet came up and found him and raised him as their own.
See,
Still
and
funny.
it's jokes
Still
like that can like go really under the radar. Like you have to be paying attention to what they
It's
said.
still good. Yeah.
Because it was just, like he said it just so fast. It's like, what?
I know.
So good.
Yeah. So anyways, they instigate the riot. They're able to get out of there and escape on some kind of moped of some sort. I don't know.
They got a moped. They got like those fuzzy bucket hats
I don't
and
know.
orange
It
jumpsuits.
seemed real
And they
crazy.
get out of there.
Yeah. And so anyways, back in the present day, Austin Powers and Foxy Cleopatra are there, and they get informed by none other than number 3, the mole, that, Dr. Evil and Mini-Me have headed to Tokyo on their submarine hideout or whatever.
Oh, yeah, they have. Well, no, he says they have like a secret base.
Yeah, he doesn't
off-
know where it is yet or something.
Right.
Whatever. Yeah.
And we see that it is a submarine shaped exactly like Dr. Evil.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I was a little worried. And actually online, they sometimes cite the other Austin Powers as having a submarine in it. Mistakenly.
Really?
IMDb has it wrong. Yeah.
Say it isn't so.
It's true. It's true. So anyways, he obsesses about the mole on the guy's face, obviously. Over and over again. Mole, 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 all that stuff. So on and so on.
Guacamole!
Right. And they head over to Japan. Right?
Oh, yeah.
I think. And so, do they get a tip about the sumo wrestling? How do they end up at the sumo wrestling?
Well, that's a little ways. That's a little ways.
Is it?
But so, anyways, we cut on over to the sub, and we see that Goldmember is now there, and he's brought Nigel Powers. And this is where you kind of see that Nigel Powers is a total badass.
He's great. Yeah,
He is really good.
he totally fucks up some henchmen.
And then this one guy, comes at him. He's like, "You know how many nameless henchmen I've killed in my day?" He's like, "You're nothing." He's like, "You don't even have a name tag.
even have a name
There's
tag.
no way you can beat me."
It's fine. It's episode 50. It's episode 50. Let it go.
is.
Let it go.
It is.
We're gonna ride this out.
We will.
And and this is also so Dr. Evil is like super jazzed about his submarine base as well. He pulls out his dick. He's like, finally, Goldmember's like, what about me? And he's like, well, you got a gold dick, so that's it. You don't get to pull it out. I'm the captain.
No.
Duh. Do you think there was a captain on there, like some evil?
It's Dr. Evil.
Do you think he actually drives the boat though?
It's a good question.
Yeah.
Would it be
we must
number 2?
explore. No, I don't think so. They're too important. They're too high up in the organization.
Too important to be captain?
Yeah, kind of. You got to drive and you got to make sure things
Hey.
whatever.
All right, so now AP and Foxy Cleopatra get a tip that Fat Bastard is into sumo wrestling.
Oh shit. So they head there, and indeed, Fat Bastard is into sumo wrestling.
And he is unstoppable, man. He picks up a dude by the balls.
He does a twister or whatever.
My favorite movie with Helen Hunt is Twister!
And he throws him into the crowd, and they're going to infiltrate the back room. And so Austin Powers...
The locker room.
Yeah, Austin Powers is hiding in a laundry basket and gets a whole bunch of dirty sumo wrestling diapers thrown in his face. And we laughed and laughed. Don't worry about it. Obviously. And Fat Bastard is taking a dump, obviously. And basically is like, what does he smell? He smells his jockstrap or whatever.
He's like, oh, I got a little rosebud.
That's what he said. I wrote that one down. Left the rosebud in there for ya, or whatever he said. That's so gross.
Who calls it that? Who calls it that?
And so then Austin Powers jumps out of the laundry basket.
Oh, because he's totally grossed out.
disgusted.
Because that one goes right near his face.
Yeah. And so then they go.
Could you
they end up
imagine?
fighting?
Oh,
So they are fighting, and they end up doing some wire fu, and Fat Bastard's so heavy that he breaks his wire, and that's how he ends up getting defeated, more or less, right? He's kind of
all the people stop, and his wire just stops, and Foxy Cleopatra shoots a gun, drops him on the floor.
Yeah.
Incredible. The fight scene's pretty legit, Mike Meyers fighting himself.
Sure.
When I do fight scenes with myself, it doesn't look that good.
Yeah.
It just looks weird.
And so anyways, what does he tip him off about Mr. Roboto and his organization or something? What has ended up happening with Fat Bastard?
Yes. Well, he said he had a meeting with Mr. Roboto.
Yeah.
He had to drop an envelope off or something like that.
Yeah. So then they end up heading over that way. And
but now we go back to the sub, and Scotty, who's kind of been estranged from his father.
Yeah, some special news for him.
Yeah, since Dr. Evil was in prison, Scotty's kind of shown some interest in taking over the family business.
Or wait, Scotty do?
Scotty do? Seth Green walks in, and he's like missing most of his hair.
It's basically gotten bald, yeah.
And dude, Mike Meyers' face, like you said, Zach, earlier, those facial expressions.
It's so funny.
Oh my word, he's just sitting there like, whoa, what?
And what has Scotty, what has he gotten, Dr. Evil?
Oh, he got him what he's always wanted. Freaking sharks with laser beams on their heads.
Yep, and they're shooting people, killing people, and Dr. Evil's like super jazzed to the point where he disowns Mini-Me.
All right, did you guys also notice what went on here? He's like, all right, everybody leave.
Everyone out. Not you.
It's getting a little crowded.
Not you. Not
you, henchman holding a wrench.
There we go, yeah.
Yeah.
It was good. And then he very obviously does not mention Mini-Me.
Yeah.
And Mini-Me has to take the hint and leave. And so, anyways, do they go to Mr. Roboto's lair first, or do they meet with Mini-Me first? I guess it's Mr. Roboto, right?
Mr. Roboto.
Yeah. Mr. Roboto. They meet with him. He's kind of just waves them off or whatever. Like, he doesn't really say all that much about it.
But they know he's lying, and they know that there's got to be something hidden here.
And this is another, I don't know, every once in a while there's a scene in a film that just tickles me to the point where I'm just like, I'm still a child. Like, I can't believe I'm like laughing at this. The fountain where he's peeing.
Oh my word.
Where he has to keep the fountain looking like it's the fountain. And all the different ways they have it be funny with it, whereas first, like, he has to get up there and quickly unzip and start peeing, and then it's like he's starting to run out of juice, so it's just like, very like spraying, like barely keeping it going. Oh! And then he's like drinking water to keep it going, and all this stuff, and I'm just like,
and then he eats asparagus, and then like the guy who's at the security desk is like sniffing around.
It's just so funny. I wonder how many different things they did to kind of add in other possibilities of the thing. But I just like, it's things like that where I'm just like, I can't believe I'm laughing so hard.
I love where it was like shooting out like it was pressurized.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, the pee jokes in this movie.
And so anyways, eventually he gets caught doing this though. He beats up a henchman. They mistakenly think he's peeing in that henchman's mouth, obviously.
Oh, that was
like
so
classic
funny.
Stuff. Whatever.
On the security camera. Yeah, it looks like he's just peeing right in the dude's mouth.
But Foxy Cleopatra comes in, saves the day. They get into the back room where they actually see Goldmember picking up the key or whatever, right? Cold fusion unit or whatever.
He needs a key. And
does he though? That's the thing. Does he though?
He doesn't.
He doesn't, but he does because he picks it up.
Right. Yeah. And he has Nigel Powers strapped to a conveyor belt where he is about to undergo an unfortunate smelting accident, which is something Goldmember went through years ago.
Yeah.
Well, and that's a classic like James Bond type of spy thing. The guy strapped down, legs spread. Normally it's like a laser beam going towards the crotch, you know what I mean?
I think it actually was
too.
Goldfinger that had the laser.
That may be true, yeah.
Yeah.
And so they free Nigel. Nigel's totally hitting on Foxy Cleopatra, like crushing it. And then but Goldmember gets away and they have to chase after him.
And he drives into a little chase scene ensues here. Yeah. They run into a Godzilla, not Godzilla. To be very clear,
did you notice who one of the Japanese actors was?
Mm-mm.
Screaming about it's not being Godzilla?
No.
It was Hiro from Heroes, also the Meg.
Who was he in the Meg?
He was in the submarine. He's the one who sacrificed himself.
Oh, that was him?
Yeah. One of them was, yeah.
Oh.
Not both of them. It wasn't like one of split screen situation. It was just one of the actors was Hiro. The other one, I don't know who that was.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I did confirm Goldfinger was the famous James Bond laser scene that was going to cut him in twain.
Dang, dude.
Yeah.
Goldmember drives into the mouth of the submarine. It's opened up. And then we go back to Austin Powers' hotel.
Well, no, and also he has a little tiff with his dad. So his dad doesn't want to do like a direct attack on the submarine.
Yeah.
But
he wants to get all the gadgets.
Yeah, so they kind of split up at this point. But that's
neither here nor there.
Neither here nor there.
And then we go on over to his apartment where Fred Savage the Mole is welcoming Mini-Me.
Yeah, this is another one of the ones where I'm just like, I can't believe I'm laughing at this so hard.
Oh my gosh, it was so funny.
It's such a visual movie. There are so many jokes. It's so hard to convey exactly what was so funny about it because it's so much of it is just like a series of visual gags.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, he goes out on the balcony to say like everything's going great with Mini-Me like going over, and I'm sure Austin Powers and him will get along fine. And Austin Powers come in and a all-out brawl ensues, culminating in my favorite thing, which is he puts a pillowcase over Mini-Me, and then has a bunch of scenes where he's smashing this pillowcase into shit. Oh, and I'm just like, this is too funny. It's just like so fucking funny.
I love when he runs in, and Mini-Me has a letter opener there because he's like opening his acceptance letter into the academy, and it's a little sword. And he's just like, assassin! And then he just kicks him. Yeah. Flies across the room, hits this mini fridge, and just is down. And then, oh my gosh, like you said, the pillowcase stuff.
So good.
Just slamming it into everything.
Okay. So anyways, Mini-Me dresses up as a little mini Austin Powers, and they're off, and they're heading towards the submarine. How do they get into the submarine?
They take a submarine car.
Second submarine. Two submarines. It's not even a single submarine movie. It's a 2 submarine movie.
2 for 1.
There we go.
2 subs.
Yeah. So how do they get in from that side? They just show them going in from like scuba. They scuba in. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. So they scuba in, and they split up at this point. Foxy Cleopatra heads one way. Austin Powers and Mini-Me heads another. They realize they have to kind of like disguise themselves. So what do? They're like, one of us will have to get on the other person's shoulders. And of course, this is like such an airmailed, obvious joke, but I still laughed at it, where Austin Powers is just like precariously perched on Mini-Me's shoulders, pretending to be a person. And the way he moved
these little tiny feet.
Yeah, the way he moved his arms was just so funny. Anyways,
he's walking around because Mini-Me can't see. He's smashing into shit and like running into people. But then he has to get a physical because he's a new person on the boat. Yeah. And so he goes into the doctor's office and he needs a urine sample. Yeah. And this was another one of the pee jokes. It was just so funny. This
was a very funny one too.
Give Mini-Me some apple juice, and he's just like spitting it like into this cup, and it's going all over Austin's hand, and the doctor's looking, just thinking he's pissing all over this stuff. And then he like tries to walk it on over to the doctor, and he falls into him. He's spilling this pee all over.
Yeah, and then another gag. This is actually a gag that I didn't think worked very well. Is he goes behind like a screen to try to look at the map of the submarine. I was hoping they were going to show a close up of the map so we can get some like figures of how big the submarine is and stuff. But and because he's behind a screen, another worker, peon, whatever, comes in and is looking and is like seeing what looks like Austin Powers' dick, like pointing at the map and stuff. And I didn't even understand. He was like so disgusted. I'm like, I'm not even sure what you think you're seeing.
He was just confused.
I don't know. It seemed like really, he's like, gotta check out this guy. He's got something going on. I'm like, I don't understand what you think is happening. Like,
I loved
you would clearly think that this is like 2 people in a room or something.
When they figured out that they were being like discovered, they latched Mini-Me.
They tried to strap him on.
Yeah, with all this tubing, and then you could just see the silhouette. It looks like he just gives birth to Mini-Me. Yeah. And like that, because that bag flips down, the water breaks.
Yeah, that one's better.
Am I misremembering that he like grabs an apple at one point? Because earlier it said it looked like a baby holding an apple or something.
Yeah, that is true. Nigel did say that. Yeah. Looks like a baby's arm holding an apple.
Yeah. That whole part was a joke from another movie that they had done too.
I know. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, like I felt like it was a lot more successful in the other Austin Powers films than this one. I thought it wasn't very well done this time.
But they'll even make fun of something like that later. Ozzy Osbourne does.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That was another one. I actually didn't think they did that joke very well either. I thought it was a lot better in the other one. Anyways.
Well, it is what it is.
Yeah, I guess maybe it's because those jokes. Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess whatever. I was going to say it was about dicks, and I like those, but not all of them were about dicks.
Wow.
Not all jokes can be.
Wow.
Anyways. So anyways, they kind of confront Dr. Evil. They all get together, and they're kind of going to confront and try to stop Dr. Evil.
Austin is going to shoot Dr. Evil in the chest, and then Nigel walks out.
Like, no, you can't.
I'm here to protect my son. He said, Dad, what are you doing? I'm right over here. He's like, no, this guy.
Oh, shit.
Dr. Evil. What's he call him? Dougie?
Dougie, yeah.
Dougie.
Dougie Powers.
It's a good name.
Yeah. And so he basically explains that, yes, he was also in the car that day when they were vacationing in Belgium, and so was Austin Powers, little baby Austin Powers. And yes, the car exploded, and he found Austin Powers on the side and assumed that he was the only one to survive the accident. But by the time he realized that Dougie had been, alive, he had already been picked up by the Belgium farmer and his sex slave with webbed feet.
I love it because earlier in the movie, Nigel says, there's two things in this world I can't stand. First, people who are intolerant of other people's cultures.
And the Dutch.
And second, the Dutch.
It's a good line.
It's so good. And then here he's like, in those Belgians to pick you up, and they share a border with the Dutch. And they made you so damn evil. Or something like that.
And so anyways, Dr. Evil decides he's actually turning good. He's like, he finally has family, and he's going to be good. And Goldmember is like, not so fast. I got the key, and the key is my dick. And I don't need you to actually do this evil plan. And so he starts it going. And they're like, what are we going to do? And Dr. Evil's like, well, I could do this very complicated procedure of actually reversing the tractor beam and shooting the meteor into space. And they're like, do it. And so they work together as like a team and a family. And Foxy Cleopatra goes up to confront Goldmember, and one of 1,000 times that she gets kicked in the face while being behind him. Like, it's every time she confronts him, she's somehow behind him just enough to get kicked in the face by his legs, because he can like stretch real good.
Oh yeah, he's really flexible. He's really pliable.
He's toy, like a toyga.
Yes.
So anyways, I switch the polarity of the tractor beam, shoot that shit into space.
Did you also mention that the key was his dick?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay. All right.
I said.
So he's got his dick in the machine, and then when they reverse the polarity, it starts shocking him.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Like crazy.
Yeah.
And then he falls down, and when he gets up...
Who is he?
It's John Travolta.
John fucking Travolta.
The whole time.
God. Good one, Kyle.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's basically they show like the end of the film that they were filming with Steven Spielberg.
Yep.
There in the movie theater. And the movie finishes, round of applause. Everyone loves it, just like we love this film. They start walking out. Who's there?
Who is there?
Fat bastard. He's got like he's got a skin. He's lost a whole bunch of weight because he was, again, another fallen from grace. He was on the Subway diet like Jared. Oof.
Yeah, probably shouldn't.
Well, that's not. So. Anyways, but he's got like a lot of extra skin. That's kind of the joke.
His neck looks like a vagina.
Yep. And then Austin and Foxy make out, right? They totally like smooch a whole bunch. And then we get the final scene, which is Scott in the Hollywood lair of Dr. Evil, basically becoming Dr. Evil.
Oh, yeah.
And doing some Michael Jackson moves to culminate it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And that is Goldmember.
Flippin' Goldmember, man.
Yeah. 50th episode.
We should have meant, they were on the sub a lot of the time.
Well, yeah.
It's a sub movie.
They're on the submarine.
Yeah, I did clock it, though. That sub did not make an appearance until the 41st minute.
Earlier than I thought.
Really? It was that long?
Yeah, it was almost half. It was more than half the film. They were on the submarine. Oh, no, never mind. Because the submarine only appeared at the 41st minute. I see.
Okay. Fair enough. Hey, more than we've had in some other movies.
That's true. Submersions. Looking at you.
Worst film ever. All right. Who wants to go first?
Who wants to go?
Someone go.
I'll go.
Someone should go.
I had not seen this movie in years. I had also not laughed this hard in years.
Jesus.
I loved like every minute of this. I forgot how funny it was. I mean, some of the stuff is so stupid, but it's just so great. And
you're going to be very disappointed in the score that I give this film.
That's fine. I don't care. It's my review. The jokes are spot on. I was texting you guys all night when I was watching it, and you guys were like, Kyle, we get it. And
Yes.
Brom, I think you said this is a very quotable movie. It is. It's great.
I forgot
there's
just how many
certainly-
things we quote from this movie. Like I say, judo chop all the time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. It's just something we grew up with. It's how we were raised. We were raised off the teat of Mike Meyers. Right?
Yes, I agree with that.
Yes. I wish there was more sub-action, but...
Sure. I wish there was a torpedo, like they had to fight a submarine and then they jettisoned out and got onto the
That would
submarine.
be funny.
Some torpedoes. or
Some of
something.
the stuff we didn't even mention, like the name of the plan is called Preparation H.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
Hilarious.
And they have the tractor beam literally comes out the ass of the submarine.
Sure.
And
It's a very visual movie. It's
It
hard
is.
to actually adequately describe all of the things that happen
it
in
is.
it.
It's so good. For me, this is a movie I will watch time and time again. There's certain comedy films
Every
that
day.
I really
In
enjoy.
fact, every day.
Not every day.
What?
There's certain comedy films I really enjoy, like things like this, Tropic Thunder, that type of stuff.
Tropic
Anchorman?
Thunder's great.
Yeah. I wish there was a sub in that.
Anchorman I watched almost every day for one summer.
Really?
All the time.
I used to watch Monty Python and the Holy Grail every day
What a
when
nerd.
I'd get home from school in like 7th grade. I love that movie.
Mm.
But for this, I wish we had more subs still. It's hilarious. It's great. It's a 7.5.
Wow. I actually, given how you just described it, I'm really surprised you went at a 7.5.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It sounded like you were describing like a 9.
Dude, come on, man.
You were like, I've never,
the
I literally
sub-action?
can't remember the last time I laughed so hard at a film.
Yeah.
7.5
Mhm.
out of 10.
What do you want, man?
No, I'm just saying. I thought you were going to give it like a 10.
It's just like the stupid
swear to
stuff.
God.
No, I'm
Okay.
not going to go that high.
Okay.
I've got sub things I'm looking for. They did have the wrench. They even called attention to it. I loved it.
Yeah, it was good.
All right. Who's up next?
I'll go.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
Oh.
Beat you
What?
to
I'll
it.
go. Oh.
Can I cut in?
All
Can I
right.
cut in?
Anyways, I'm
Who's
gonna rate
cut
it.
in?
I'm gonna rate it a 7. I thought it was also very hilarious. I actually watched this with another listener that we have, and he enjoyed it quite a bit too.
Harry
Yeah, Harry Keetle was there. His rating was, I don't remember what it was, but he definitely laughed a lot too. So it was very enjoyable. I hadn't watched it in years. I do remember actually seeing it in theaters. Of course, I probably didn't laugh as much then because I probably did not understand the humor like at all. But now that I'm older, I thought it was hilarious. I don't really care if there's a submarine movie in there or not, even though I know that's what our podcast is about. I still enjoyed it and will be happy
Bite
to
your
review
tongue.
it. I'm giving it a 7 though, so I liked it a lot.
Solid rating.
All right, I'll jump in. What you guys already said, I remember watching this as a kid, so I hadn't seen it in a long time. I was excited to see it now that I knew that I would understand more of the jokes. And I wasn't let down. I still really enjoyed it and had a lot of fun with it. The cameos were incredible. These were among some of the best cameos in any movie, probably of all time. Just the amount of star power they peppered in. I mean, even throughout the movie, like it wasn't even just that first scene, just like throwing in Ozzy Osbourne and stuff in there. I thought that was really cool. I laughed my ass off, and that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to enjoy myself, and it's obviously no triumph in filmmaking or anything like that, but I enjoyed the movie. And for our 50th episode, I'm going to give it a 7.50.
Oh. Get the
All right.
5-0.
Here
Gotta
comes
make sure you get
Zach.
the significant figures. Get that. Okay.
Got it.
Okay.
Here comes Zach.
So, this movie was very, very entertaining. It was funny. It was humor. It was humor at its best. We already talked about the other two Austin Powers movies, but Goldmember, this one stands up. This is a great movie. First sub at the 41st minute, though. I got to take off a point right off the top with that. So it's not getting 10. But what will it get? We'll find out. So
When we come back.
when we come back,
It's not getting a
this
12.
movie was this movie was toit. It was toit like a tiger. I really left a rosebud after I watched the movie. It was great. when Fat Bastard rubs his own tits and says, "Oh, my titties!" Like, God damn it! How do you write that kind of a joke? When he says his own fart smells like carrots and throw up, like, God damn it. And then he describes it as a hot, sick ass. Like, Jesus Christ. Oh, God, it's funny. And then they have like a couple of one-liners in there, like when Mini-Me makes the you want a little clone inside you to Foxy.
Oh my God, that was so
Austin
funny.
laughs. He's like, horny bugger. It's like little Mini-Me's just horny, and then he's humping her leg later. God, what were some of these other jokes? Mini-Me in the bag, when they had the fight scene and when he puts Mini-Me in just a pillowcase and whips his ass against the wall. That was...
I did enjoy that.
God, that
So
was
funny.
funny. All the times they did like the zoom ins on their faces, and Austin's just like, and Dr. Evil are like, whoa, with the mole. That was
Oh
great.
my gosh, it's perfect.
You guys didn't even mention the whole Godzilla joke they included in there, which was hysterical with the Mini Cooper when it drove in the Godzilla, and they're just like, it's like Godzilla! And they're all all the Japanese are running around screaming.
The guy's
And,
like, wait,
Charmander made an appearance. He was in there.
Yeah, it's true. He was in the background.
so did Pikachu.
Yeah. I miss Pikachu, but it's just like, damn, this movie's funny. Entertaining.
That adds 1 point back for it, right?
1 point back. I'm going to get up here. What did everybody say? 7.5, 7.5, and a 7, I think.
Yep.
Yep.
Fuck you guys. I'm giving this one a big, fat, hot, sick ass of a 9.
Whoa.
Because it was very entertaining and short, which was nice.
That's okay. That's true. I gotta say, now that I'm up, I gotta keep that in mind. It was a short film.
Yeah.
Also, one of the good features of Submergence, right? It was short. If you remember.
Not short enough.
Well, anyways, that was also short. I remember watching this in theaters, as we all did. I don't think I completely remember just how much. I almost wish I did watch the first one. I'm not sure they did as much mugging and kind of just like really letting jokes hang to kind of be like, yeah, right? Remember? Because I didn't think it necessarily hit all the time. There were certain ones, all the urination jokes, Mini-Me
good.
in a pillowcase,
So good.
the dad not showing up and just everyone laughing so hard at Austin Powers because his dad didn't show up, which seems just still hilarious. The songs were very good. All these kind of things, I think, added up to a good experience, but not necessarily a super great experience. Also, one thing that's kind of funny is like, it's seems a little bit strange nowadays to see a film with so much product placement. I think it usually is to the detriment of the film to go so hard into it. Like Adam Sandler is someone who does that a lot, where he'll like be eating at Hooters while wearing a Dick's Sporting Goods shirt and be like, I'm heading to MGH, or whatever, not MGH, but MGM, like a resort or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in Las Vegas. Like every single thing he says is like a advertisement. And this is similar. It's like every time you turn around, he's drinking like something or whatever. Fat Bastard's talking about Subway or someone's talking about some shit. Like it was a little weird. I didn't like it.
I think some of that shit's funny.
I don't know. It just doesn't seem like a joke anymore. Like Fat Bastard saying he went on the Jared diet. Is that a joke?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
joke.
Well, what's funny about it? Is it funny because
He's,
he went on the Subway diet?
It's funny because it's
He's a
relevant at
flabby
the time.
bastard now.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, anyways, I still thought it hit pretty well. I was entertained by it, but I didn't super duper extra love it. I thought you guys were going to hate me when I dropped my 6.5 on this, but I feel like I'm not. I'm just at the bottom of everyone else's scores.
I
So I
actually,
don't
Jamie,
feel as bad
based on
anymore.
what you were kind of hinting at, I thought you were going to give it under a 5.
No.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
No, I think a 6.5. I think like I putting in the range, I would say like a 6 is kind of in the middle, right? Because technically it's out of 12. So I think a 6 is in the middle. Like, is it under? No. it's right there. But then I was like, you know, it's 0.5 because there were at least 4 things that I like laughed out loud at. And you can't fault a film if you have 4 scenes. Like I watched a Will Ferrell film called Get Hard where I laughed once, like really hard. And afterwards I was like, you know what? That was probably worth it. I laughed really hard one time. Like that was still like, you know, you have an hour and a half of a film and you laugh really, really hard once. That's pretty good. That's not like the worst thing that's ever happened to you. You laughed really hard once. Fine.
Yeah.
But this was a lot better than that. I laughed really hard 4 times. Like that's pretty good.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah. Anyways.
It's solid gold.
It's not solid gold.
It's
I'll tell you what, though.
14 karat gold.
Ben talked about this in his review, and it's the amount of cameos. But
oh
you know,
yeah, I wanted to ask.
Some movies can like shoot itself in the foot doing this, right? Like
right, yeah, Zoolander 2.
See, and that's
Zoolander
exactly what I was going to say,
is
Jamie.
A great example.
I
of
never
that, yeah.
saw Zoolander 2, but my one friend saw
terrible.
it, and he said it was the worst movies, like one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
Another one where I'd say there's one scene that I laughed really hard at in Zoolander 2. So did I fault it totally? No, but it's a really bad film. Kyle Mooney, this actor Kyle Mooney, who's on Saturday Night Live, he has a character
stuff.
in that film. Yeah, he's got a character in that film that is hilarious, but everything else in it is shit, and the cameos are the worst part. Worst part.
I think Goldmember did it great.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask, as my first trivia for this thing, is what was everyone's favorite cameo? My personal one is John Travolta. That was
Mine's
my favorite one.
Danny DeVito.
Mine's DeVito also.
Mine was Rob Lowe. Made it to
Very nice.
I'm just so
Wait,
impressed.
Rob Lowe made it into this one?
to a deleted scene. Yes,
Oh,
And the
deleted scene,
credits.
okay.
And the credits.
and I guess in the credits.
I'm just so
All right, 'cause
impressed that they got.
Rob Lowe's also featured later in my trivia as being not featured in this film.
You blew it.
Oh, shit.
Took a
Scotty,
picture.
don't.
I like that they got Tom Cruise. That's a huge get. But
That is pretty good.
I'm a big Black Sabbath fan, so I got to go Ozzy.
Oh, yeah. That was a little sad, though.
It's Black Sabbath.
Never heard of it. Anyways, more trivia. Director Jay Roach's first cut of the film was how long, guys? How long do you think it was?
2:10.
3 hours 20 minutes.
Oh, he went over. It's not 3 hours 20.
But
Is it
more
3
than,
hours?
More than 2
3 hours flat.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 hours.
3
Holy
hours long?
shit.
for a
I don't
comedy.
understand what they cut. So much.
They cut it down to an hour and a
They
half.
cut it like half.
That's what they said. Yeah.
God, it had to
know.
have just been a ton of jokes.
I would love to get my hands on that version and just see what it is.
You could imagine that a lot of those scenes were just like way longer. Like a lot of the stuff was really short, given what it had maybe been in other films, like the boob shaped satellite and the screen with Mini Me and you know them thinking the silhouette was doing something. Like those could have been like 3 times, 4 times as long, and then they realized like we can't do this and had to cut it down.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyways, Mike Meyers wore blue contacts for his role of Dr. Evil during this film, even though in the previous films he did not wear blue contacts. So in the other films, he has brown eyes.
Interesting. I did
Weird.
notice his eyes were
did look
super
different.
blue.
Yeah.
Super blue, yeah.
Especially like Mini-Me's when he was going berserk for that chocolate and
God,
fame
that
was
was
popping
funny.
out of his head.
Yeah.
His eyes looked nuts.
That's super weird. That's just like a weird trivia. That's why I added it. There's a lot of trivia. A lot of it was kind of like lame or whatever, but I picked out these ones that I kind of enjoyed. This was another one that's kind of just like a discrepancy. So in this film, Austin and Basil Exposition both attend the same academy and knew each other years before the events of the first movie. Even though in the first movie, Basil introduces himself to Austin Powers.
Yeah.
That is odd.
I have a question
So-
about that.
Yeah.
Well, not about
What's
the
that?
whole introducing himself to Basil exposition. But the whole fact that they went to school together. So we know that Mike Meyers played Dr. Evil and Austin. Did the same actor play the younger versions of him?
I don't think so, no. I
Because
don't
the
think
guy
so,
that
right?
played Austin, a young Austin, I mean, whoever that was, did it perfect. I mean, I thought
yeah,
it
he
was
did.
just like, yeah. But
Yeah,
the
they did.
Dr. Evil
I believe
seemed
it was different people,
weird.
yeah. All right.
Who throws a cupcake?
And here's another
Honestly.
one. Sir Seanery Connery. Seanery Connery.
Connery.
Seanery Connery.
Seanery Connery.
Sir Sean Connery was considered to play Nigel Powers. Obviously, as
That would
a
have been sick.
That would have been. I mean, dude, Michael Caine is.
no, he's
so
good.
good.
Actually, I
though.
do prefer Michael Caine in the role. I think he would have done. He does it better as being kind of that like funny, but also same kind of funny, supposed to be suave way of doing it.
Yeah.
Having
all
an
right.
actual James Bond, though, that would have been awesome.
Oh, that would have been clutch.
Yeah, that would have been sweet.
Daniel Craig.
I think it
Who would he
was
have
it was Sean Connery that was in Goldfinger too.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah.
So anyways, Heather Graham reprised her role as Felicity Shagwell in a scene that was ultimately cut. Will Ferrell also reprised his role as Mustafa in another deleted scene, in which he has to answer a question after being asked 4 times. I'm not sure what that even means, but they put that in the trivia.
His character
Whatever.
died twice. Like the first movie he died, and then they went back in time and they killed him again. So, in the second movie.
It had me wondering, what actors would you have liked to see reprise their role in the end and not be cut? Is it Will Ferrell? What do people think? Would you like to see Mustafa back?
I liked Mustafa.
Of course,
a lot.
yes.
I thought he was fun.
I
Yes.
agree. I thought it was one of my
Yeah.
favorite things from that first one.
Yeah.
I actually felt like it. I felt like before it was one of the many like things that kind of slowly built up Will Ferrell's cachet before he like banked in on Anchorman becoming this like wild hit. That was weird. Like there's no way you could have predicted that Anchorman would have been such a giant hit, except through Saturday Night Live and things like Mustafa and then like Old School and stuff. He slowly built up this following that people were like so jazzed for whatever he did.
Yeah, I love his death
Sorry,
scene in
yeah.
the first one when he gets dropped through the floor, and then he's like, everyone just assumes he's dead, and then he shouts that, "I'm still alive. I'm badly injured, but I'm still alive," or whatever he says.
You shot me. You shot me right in the cum.
No, my favorite was, I think it was in the second one when he fell off the cliff where he goes like, "My wounds smell of walnuts or almonds or something." I don't know. Anyways, what about Heather Graham? Would you like to see her come back?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how would they have necessarily done it? I guess I don't know. Did she
I
come
would-
back to the future?
They should
with
have
him?
made her another fembot, just like they
Oh,
did.
oh, good.
Yeah, with,
Yeah, what about Elizabeth Hurley?
Hurley.
Would you want Elizabeth Hurley to have come back?
No,
Another
she already
fembot?
died in the second
Or to
one.
come back as the real one?
Oh, if she was the real person?
Yeah, now she came back as the real one.
Oh, that could be interesting.
What about Rob Lowe?
Oh,
Rob Lowe.
yeah.
He
Yeah.
was in the movie.
You see, he's saying he's in the movie, but so was Will Ferrell and Heather Graham. So
Rob
whatever.
Lowe
I didn't
is
see
in a
Rob
picture.
Lowe in the after.
Rob Lowe is in a picture during the credits. I
Oh.
took a screenshot of it and sent it to Alex.
He's in a deleted scene in the movie. He plays number 2.
Yes. So is Will Ferrell, and so is Heather Graham. So
Yeah,
Rob
that's what
Lowe
Jamie's
is
been saying.
literally the funniest actor.
But wait a minute. Wait
Really?
a minute, though.
I do love Youngblood. We see it played on the NHL
Oh,
channel
yeah, we
at
did.
bowling all the time.
God, my bowling alley always plays Back to the Future.
Wow, that's good too. What's wrong with that?
No, it's okay. It's just for the last 4 or 3 weekends in a row, every time I'm there to practice, it's playing.
And then finally, one last person who you might want to see come back in the film, Ed Harris. And as people know, everyone knows, right? He was the one who played Austin Powers in the first film, and then he was replaced by Mike Myers starting in the second film.
It's a tragedy.
It was. It's too
So
bad.
he would
I'd love to
reprise
see
his
Ed
role
Harris acting
as
as-
Austin Powers.
Yeah, he would have come back. Would you have liked to see him play Austin Powers again in the third one because he played it in the first one?
I'd have liked to have seen him come back and then get kicked out once again by Mike Myers in the third film.
Oh, good one. That's a good one.
I would have liked to see him as Fat Bastard.
That would have been solid. Like a real sexy hot, fat bastard, though, where like he's like all greased up, but he's like real slim.
Shit.
He's like real slim and buff, though. What do you think of that?
It's just like Ed Harris, like, oh, rubbing my titties.
What about
Probably-
what about Ed
probably in
Harris
some grease,
as
right?
Mini-Me?
Oh,
But he has to play it. He has to be on his knees the whole time.
Oh, you're thinking like a Gary Oldman and Tiptoes situation.
Sure.
Does anyone know what that is?
No.
Oh, it's
No.
the film with Matthew McConaughey and Gary Oldman, where Gary Oldman plays a little person, but he just plays it by being on his knees the whole time.
Can you tell?
Yeah, it's terrible. It's crazy that they even did it.
What's
It's
it
an
called?
actual film.
What's it
It's called
called?
Tiptoes. Tiptoes.
When did this come out?
Tiptoes. Like it's in the mid 2000s. Or
There it
something.
is.
What?
Fucking Tiptoes. Gary
It's a real thing.
Oldman's
I
in
mean-
it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's the guy who's playing
Oh, that
the,
was
the little
stupid.
person when he's on his knees. It's crazy.
So
man.
they don't even try to hide his legs. Like he's just
Well-
on his knees.
Well, they do. You don't see like his legs, but they pretend like he is a little person and he just like walks around on his knees.
And the Dinkle's in it.
Yeah, he plays. Yeah,
Kate Beckinsale.
Yep.
Oh no. Yeah, here's a photo
David
of Gary
Allen Greer.
Oh my gosh, that is so weird.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you, I know everything about bad movies. Don't ask me anything about good movies. But if you want to know about the Gary Oldman film where
You can tell Gary Oldman's kind of like
person,
shrugging his shoulders and everything to make his arms look shorter. That is wrong.
it's bad. It's really
Peter
bad.
Dinklage has like braided hair.
Yes, it's great. Anyways, on to
It
some
came out in
Phantom Zone. You guys can.
2003.
How about you guys just keep on looking at some pictures of
dude.
Gary Oldman as a little
my
person?
gosh.
I will.
Look
yeah,
at that.
it's not great. I will go on to Phantom Zone.
Engage the Phantom.
Phantoms engaged, sir.
So I wanted to do a funny one because I've used actually this before because like Tom Cruise and Gwyneth Paltrow, I've used this as kind of like a easy way through. So I wanted to find out how to do it. Obviously, I could have used Hero from Heroes in using the Meg, but I was like, no. I'm going to use Michael Caine. Now, interesting fact, Michael Caine's film debut was in a submarine film. Did you know that?
Which one?
It's called Morning Departure.
Oh, yes, I do have that.
Yeah, so that's his film debut. And so like this is his, I don't even know. Like I looked, I think he's been in like 4 or 5 submarine films. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, so anyways, I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to use instead a funnier one, which was he played Captain Nemo on a TV miniseries of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea with co-starring Patrick Dempsey. which is great.
Seriously?
Yeah. That featured, I don't know if you remember the show Lost, there was a character named Echo. So it was the actor who played Echo. Has a very
Who was Echo? I
complex
watched
name.
Lost.
He came in like the 3rd season.
But I couldn't finish that.
Man, it was great.
Series.
So anyways, he was in G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra. I don't know if you saw that one, where there's like
I
an
did
underwater base and they have to go there by submarines. It's pretty good. That also features Dennis Quaid, who was in Inner Space. And from there, we can do it. So the cowboy in Inner Space was in Hail Caesar. Dolph Lundgren was in Hail Caesar as well, or Michael Gambon, et cetera, whatever. All kinds of stuff in there.
Dude, you know who I haven't heard come out of your mouth in a long time?
Who?
Teru Shimada.
Teru Shimada. That's a good point. I should do a classic Teru Shimada next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a while, man.
Good call.
It's been
Good
a
call.
while.
I could have this time, I think. Because I think I could have gotten to a James Bond film. You know, obviously, I'm sure there were some people in there. Like, you could have connected back to a James Bond film and then
You'd
went through
think.
Teru Shimada, but whatever.
You should have. All right. It's time for Subs Worldwide.
Let's do it.
It's Subs Worldwide. This week we did Austin Powers Goldmember, and I was like, man, what sub could Austin have seen when he time traveled back into the 70s? This shagadelic sub is one of them. The Churchill class.
Oh, I love it.
Yes, it is a Royal Navy, which is the UK's Navy, nuclear-powered submarine.
Is it shaped like a cigar?
I wish it was.
Oh.
These are improved off the Valiant-class submarines, and they were in service from 1970 to 1992. So one of them is actually quite famous, which we'll get into later. For the specs, the length of them is 285 feet. They have a nuclear reactor, which drives 2 English electric turbines that generate 20,000 horsepower, and it can cruise along at 28 knots while submerged. It'll also hold 103 people, and it has 6 21-inch torpedo tubes that can fire Mark 8 torpedoes, Mark 24 Tigerfish, and UGM-84 RN sub-harpoon missiles. Gotta pause for a second before you say that. There are 3 of them in the class. The Churchill, the Courageous, which has actually been preserved as a museum at the Devonport Dockyard.
Devonport?
Yes. I looked it up. It's like 4 hours from London.
I'll have to let Patrick know.
Yeah, he can go there
Yeah.
on his day off.
Right.
And the Conqueror, which is the most famous one in the class. Anyone know why?
Because it was the one that launched the nuclear missile that destroyed Moscow.
Exactly.
Right.
Actually.
Oh.
Not close.
Oh.
But it was captained by Commander Chris Werfeld Brown, and the boat set sail from Fastlane Naval Base in Scotland on April 3rd, 1982. And where did it arrive 21 days later? The Falkland Islands.
Oh, a little war against Argentina.
Yeah, dude. Stuff is going down. And this boat, so what was going on down in Argentina was some shit.
Oh, yeah.
And British fleet was down there, and there was this ship called the Belgrano that was working with another Argentinian ship, and they were going to start attacking the British fleet. And some of the British people recognized this, and they radioed into base and said, hey, can we attack this boat? And they got the go-ahead.
Wow.
But by the time the submarine got the go-ahead, it seemed like, I guess, the ship realized like the other one that it was going to attack with wasn't in position, so they kind of turned off. But that did not stop the sub.
No.
They said, screw that. And they fired 3 torpedoes at it. 2 of them hit and sunk that boat. In total, there were 323 people killed on it.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it was a lot of people. But after this, the Argentinian ships began depth charging the area. It's like, this sounds like...
This is intense. Is there a
like
movie about this?
It's like the real shit, you know?
Yeah.
And so they survived the depth charging, and then the Argentinian Air Force was flying over looking for them.
Oh, shit.
Dude, it's all going down, just like it does in all our movies.
Is there a book about this?
There should be. But they were able to make it back to their base, and they were flying a Jolly Roger flag, which is just like
The pirate flag?
yeah,
Huh.
which is a custom for when you sink a boat.
That seems a little rude.
Not a lot of people were like super thrilled about it.
Yeah, it seems a little rude.
Yeah, and it was funny when asked about the situation, Commander Warfield Brown said, "The Royal Navy spent 13 years preparing me for such an occasion. It would have been regarded as extremely dreary if I fouled it up." So,
What the fuck? Okay, anyways, was there a TV miniseries about this?
I'm not sure.
Huh.
But this boat also worked with American forces and successfully completed a raid, stealing a Soviet sonar array.
And some gold. Some Nazi gold.
It should be.
Huh.
Should be gold. The periscope, captain's cabin, and main control panel are actually on display at the Royal Navy Submarine Museum in Gosport. And this is quite cool. This is the only nuclear sub in history to have sunk an enemy ship with torpedoes.
Wow.
That's cool. You think there would be other ones, right? But I guess like it would just set so much stuff off. You probably shouldn't do it. But that's it, man. That's Subs Worldwide.
I guess they don't know about our enemy engagement that we've had.
Yeah. Small inland lakes.
Fucked up that ship.
Nobody knows what's going on there. All right, Brom. What do you got, man?
Do we have any news?
We don't have news.
Oh, shoot. You're right.
Yeah,
the Mustard Man's on. Sorry, dude. I didn't mean to. No disrespect.
You guys think I was actually looking up news? Oh, I didn't know that there was actually a set way that we do this kind of stuff, so that's fine.
Oh, I mean, this is like the normal.
Okay. Conventional path.
Oh, all right. So here's a news story for you. Last year, 2 submarines might have chased a British sub. Fact.
Oh.
So that's reported by National Interest. I don't know if that's a real website or not, but there you go. You know, nowadays all you got to have is a keyboard and a screen, and you can write whatever you want, call it news. So the article really doesn't give us a lot of stuff. It just says it has a lot of firepower with 20 Tomahawk cruise missiles on it. Did they really track down a British sub? No one knows. So good news. Some of you might also know that in and around this time, the president is giving his State of the Union address. And from military.com, and I don't know if that's official or not, a transgender Navy submarine officer will accompany a senator to the State of the Union. So there you go. Good for him. It looks like Navy Lieutenant Commander Blake Dreeman, who transitioned from female to male while serving on active duty, was on submarines all the time. So that's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And just so you guys know, there's 15,000 transgender individuals who currently serve in the U.S. military.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
Kiss from a rose.
Yeah, other than that, this movie came out on July 22nd, 2002. Also, what happened on July 22nd, 2002 was WWE's Monday Night Raw. And for anyone who was wondering, The Big Show defeated Spike Dudley in 1 minute and 3 seconds, and The Rock defeated Eddie Guerrero in 8 minutes and 31 seconds.
If you smell.
And Ed Harris beat the everyone, basically. He was the top champ.
He was supposed to be there, but it was in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
That's where it was?
Yes.
Can you imagine literally fighting someone for 8 minutes? I mean, I know it's staged or whatever, but that's a long time to be fighting someone.
Well, there was a lot of fights going on there. One of them actually ended in a no contest. That was between D'Lo Brown and Sean Stasiak. That one only lasted 1 minute 28 seconds, so I don't really know what's going on. I wish I tried finding the video so we could show all of our listeners how good it was, but couldn't find it. So there you go.
Those famous Sean Stasiak, that famous wrestler.
Yeah, I'd never even heard of him before. So
I remember D'Lo Brown though. That guy was funny.
Oh yeah, I remembered everybody else on that list except for that guy. So oh well. The Rock Goldmember Johnson did pretty good.
He needs to work on his name, Steve Stasiak, whatever it was.
Already closed out of the tab. Don't know.
Well.
There you go. Enjoy the news.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, no, it was great. I enjoyed it a lot. I just can't wait for it to slowly morph into just always being WWE.
I'm ready
this
for
day
that.
in history.
I'm so
this
ready
day in
for
history
that.
back in 1993.
Yeah, that'd be good. All right, Brom, you ready?
I'm ready. Tube 3 ready to fire, sir.
Commence the countdown.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give it to me.
So, this week we are celebrating our 50th anniversary on the podcast here, the golden anniversary. So what better way to celebrate than with a top 5 golden fun facts?
So this is about gold?
It's about gold.
Ooh.
I thought you were going to do like a Golden Girls type.
Oh, that would have been good too. Well, maybe he does. Hold on, let's not spoil it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, no spoilers. I'm not going that direction with it. Number 5, I think you'll find these pretty interesting, though. This one a little bit up our alley, and I don't know if this is referring to, maybe some of Hitler's gold on the seabed, but the world's oceans contain nearly 40 billion pounds of gold.
Wow.
That's a ton.
That is way more than a ton.
It's way more than
That
a
is
ton.
actually 20.
Way
That is
more
actually
than a ton.
20 million tons, Kyle.
Come on, Kyle, you dumbass.
Sorry, dude.
Depends if you're talking about metric ton or all that kind of stuff too. But
Well,
What's that equate into today's value, Ben?
$36, right?
Four shoot bucks.
There we go.
Wow. Very nice.
So what's it take for us to get our hands on some of that? Actually, they have TV shows on
Most
this.
of that's actually just one shipwreck. No one can get to it though.
Oh, because
Yeah.
it's too deep.
Yes.
Jamie probably knows more about this. This is not one of my fun facts, but it was in the same vein of gold in the water out there. Apparently,
Oh, the vein.
Hey.
yes, that was unintentional.
There it is.
There it is. Apparently, gold can be formed by water being introduced to an earthquake. That's
Wait. So, if it's just raining?
What?
I don't know how it works. I just read that gold can be created from water experiencing an earthquake.
What website told you that?
I feel like
I've
you're
never heard.
asking
I don't know
more
what this is.
information.
That's a weird one.
I choose to believe it.
Sure, why not? Yeah. No,
that's why I
say
didn't
yes.
include it, because I'm like, I'm going to need a citation on that one.
So, if you're experiencing an earthquake, listener, just throw water on the ground and you'll get
And you're going to be rich.
Yeah.
You can pay for all the
Hard up.
damage to your house.
Hard up for rent money? Go out west, man, where those earthquakes are.
Number 4.
Well,
Go ahead.
Don't they use like little water in pans and you shake out the, water and there's the gold?
When they're creating an earthquake, Alex. Oh my god.
We might be on
Come
to
on, guys.
If you are strapped for cash and looking for a little gold, there's some gold in your personal computer. In fact, there is more gold that is recoverable from a ton of personal computers than from 17 tons of gold ore.
Wow.
No way.
Guess you're gonna
that
get
makes sense,
You're
though.
gonna get a bunch of extra refuse and slag if you smelt down gold ore. But there's a lot of just pure gold in our computers.
It's true. It's very true. Gold's very important in science. Don't worry about it, guys.
Number 3, similar vein, pun intended. Apple recovered 2,204 pounds of gold from broken iPhones in the year 2015. That was worth about $40 million that they got out of their broken iPhones.
Cost $41 million to recover them.
Probably.
So
That's a wow.
that's a ton.
That's a ton. So much.
Number 2, did you guys know? Let's see here. How do we want to phrase this? Okay, so in America here, best way to explain, we got all these different levels of currency. We got coins, we got dollar bills, everything. Over in Australia, they have a legal tender $1 million coin, and it weighs 1,000 kilograms. Looks like it's about 2.5, 3 feet in diameter.
Holy shit.
And is 99.99% pure gold. It is as legal tender worth $1 million, but the raw gold itself worth $45 million.
So this is like
Who has that coin?
so this is like the Obama coin, right?
I guess it would
similar
be.
idea.
I've never seen the Obama
but
coin.
would you say it was the UK? This was the UK.
This is Australia.
It's Australia. Yeah. So no. The Obama coin is the idea that occasionally, like, because you can't, the president doesn't have the authority to decide spending and stuff like that. Paying off the debt when we hit like a ceiling and we have to pay off our debt or whatever. The president doesn't have the authority just to say like pay it. Like Congress has to say like we're doing it. And so when they hold that hostage, the theory is that the president does have the authority to mint money, so that Obama would just mint a giant gold coin and give it to the countries that we owe like money to, so we don't default and like destroy the economy. And this was an actual thing like talked about when they did this the last time with Obama.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Where would we get the gold from? There is no gold.
No, he would just mint. I mean, he would just mint the coin or whatever, and it would be like, yeah, I don't know. It's from the minting place where they have minting stuff. I don't know.
Zach
You
just
just magically get it.
Zach just
like a
posted
giant coin.
in Discord, so don't look at this. Kyle and Jamie, since I think Alex and Zach probably know. Guess what do you think is on this Australian $1 million coin?
Damn.
You get 2 guesses.
Kangaroo.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
It is in fact called the Australian kangaroo. Is the name of the currency.
Well, it makes sense because the big golden coin has an eagle, like golden eagle or whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
Theirs would be a golden
That's
kangaroo.
Do they have it on display anywhere? Is there there's got to be at least one in existence, right?
Yes, you can see it. Zach posted a picture of a gentleman with it.
It's about the size of a torso, middle-aged man torso.
Oh my word!
See, and that's exactly what they were talking about with the Obama coin. A giant coin that they would give, so we don't default on our.
Number 1.
Here is your coin.
Yeah.
God.
No, I don't want this. I want money, not some big coin.
Take your coin.
Number 1, though, I found this.
Hey, you've got your coin. Here, stuff.
Yeah, it's 6,000 pounds.
You guys ready for number 1? It's pretty
Yeah,
wild.
I am.
Pretty wild. In 2014, Dubai launched a program that paid its children 1 gram of gold for every pound they lost, and 1 gram of gold is worth about $45. So
Oh, whoa!
Holy shit.
So was there like a set starting time? Because I would have to gain a lot of weight before that start time.
yeah, I don't know how it rolled out, but
It's like that's the worst part of it is they set it up and all these kids is just like, holy shit, we're so obese.
Yeah.
So Ben, was this like kids under 18? You lost a pound and you got that?
I don't know. You have to learn. It's just kind of just like the fast facts about gold. This is one I really responded to, and I'm skinny as a rail, so I wouldn't have been able to have benefited very much from this. But
Yeah, it would have been tough.
pretty.
I would have had a tough time.
That's a pretty
I
good
could get rich,
initiative.
man.
I like that.
Okay.
$45 a pound. That is my top 5 golden fun facts.
Kyle, how much?
Good job, Ben.
How many pounds would you lose if that was a thing in the United States? $50 per pound. How many do you? go for?
Jesus
man.
Christ. I want to eat for a week.
200 pounds.
Oh my God! No way.
You
What, you
look
gotta
like
have to
Christian
live through
Bale,
it.
dude.
I don't have to live through it.
What are you, like $1.60?
Yeah, sure. Go with that.
After 200 as well.
Yeah.
No.
Our listeners are probably getting some weird images
Idea
of
of what
me.
you are.
And, yeah, they're like, what is this
Oh my
guy?
God, is he morbidly obese?
Does he just live in that studio? He can't even move out of that podcasting booth?
And the answer is yes, but not because you're so obese you can't get out of it.
I mean, it does seem
Because
like
I love it.
It does seem like a pretty fair rate, though. I mean, if you lose 10 pounds, that's $500. Like that's a lot of work and
Jesus
effort.
Christ. Oh man, I'd have to bulk up before that started. Lose it up.
I was going to do a product placement, Say, start slamming blank. Krispy Kremes.
Very nice. Good one. Not a sponsor yet.
I wish.
Soon. Why wouldn't they sponsor a submarine podcast?
That's a good question. All right. This podcast has already gone on for a while, but we've got one more segment, don't we?
Yeah, we got at least one more hour of this podcast, so stay tuned, listeners.
Coming up next, Zac Facts, the top 99. Just kidding.
Whoa!
Just kidding. All right, let's just jump right into this. This special gold edition of Zac Facts. Zac Facts, it's Zac Facts. When you're going down, get some Zac Facts when you're going down. Every single one of these has something to do with gold. The first one. Mike Meyers played a lot of people in this movie, but what you didn't know is that he also played Foxy Cleopatra.
Oh, wow. It's an impressive performance, although probably offensive on many levels.
No, not back in 2000.
What about that movie wasn't offensive?
Fact number 2. Dr. Evil's submarine is currently on display in South Africa.
Wow. Oh, that would be great. And it is great because it's real, because the fact is real.
Yeah, and it's a popular, selfie spot for Instagram.
Oh,
Look it up.
That's where all those are coming from.
Look it up. Go on Instagram. Listeners, right now, open up Instagram, hashtag Dr. Evil Submarine in South Africa and see what comes up.
I'm going to look up blue
You'll be
waffle.
surprised. Here's another fact for you. Tom Cruise was under the impression that he was really filming an entire movie, and he still is thinking that.
Still going on.
Yeah.
Post-production.
So SeaWorld was very nice, and they donated the sharks with laser beams on their heads. However, upon attempting to return these sharks, the studio forgot to add water to the tanks, and they all died.
Oh,
That's what Blackfish was about, right?
I think so.
Yeah, that was the story of the studio trying to return the sharks with laser beams to SeaWorld, and they all died.
And they decayed and they turned into black, rotting husks.
With laser beams.
With laser beams. Yes.
The last fact is it took Fred Savage 4 months to grow his mole. And there it is.
Wow.
4 months to grow a mole.
Very nice. It actually reminded me, the first fact that you're talking about, we're talking about how like offensive it would be and stuff like that, reminded me of, anyone ever seen Norbit? The Eddie Murphy film Norbit?
No.
Wow. So he plays a lot of characters in his films as well, including in that one, an elderly Asian man. He just like in makeup, like is an elderly Asian man, and it's probably the most offensive thing that's ever been created. It is bad. So
I have a feeling I would laugh at it.
This is Eddie Murphy, man.
Don't say that into a microphone.
Does that have a submarine on it that we could watch?
No.
Jamie's just trying to cover up. There's probably totally a sub.
It's really bad. It's almost like Strange Wilderness. It's almost as bad as Strange Wilderness.
God, that movie's so funny.
There you go.
Is that it?
I mean, I guess.
Dead silence.
All right, I'm hitting stop. And
There it is.
That's either gonna end on a lame like smash cut, or it's gonna end with us being like, "Is that it?"
Yeah.
Smash cut. Thanks for listening to Submersion. Find us on SoundCloud and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Can't get enough of us? Don't forget to subscribe for new episodes every Thursday. And if you like what you heard, please go ahead and give us a rating.